First Watch Now.
What you need to know from the Cochise County Sheriff's Office.
Hosted by Cochise County Public Information Officers Carol Kappas and Grady Butler. First Watch on 92.3 KWCD.
And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative, giving you an inside look into your sheriff's office. I'm Grady Butler, and with me is Carol Kappas, Public Information Officer with the Sheriff's Office, and Sheriff Mark Daniels. Good morning.
Hello, everyone.
I didn't have your mics on. Try again.
Good morning, Cochise County.
Hello, everyone.
There you go. That was all me.
You got that brand new board, so I'm sure you're
I
still
know.
working it.
All the buttons. There's so many buttons.
It looks good.
It does. It's a brand new, it's very Star Trek, I like to say.
It is.
Well, let's start with wrestling. We have some actual wrestling stories that you need to give us this morning.
Yeah, the girls and boys. Let me start with the boys first. We traveled to Phoenix to the Veterans Coliseum last week for their state wrestling. We took 8 boys to state and 2 girls. So the boy is a 3-day event. The boys started on day 1. After day 1, we were in 9th place. We moved up to 7th place the second day, and we ended up in 12th place. Our last round, we didn't do our last round, which was the toughest round for us, of course. So we had 2 state medalists ended up in 12th place. So we did very well out of 39 teams. So kudos to my boys. Now the girls, kudos to my girls too. We took 2 girls up there. 2 former state qualifiers, one a state runner-up, Asia General, and then Roxana Martinez. We get up there. We stayed about 25 minutes from the Coliseum where the school put us up. So on our way to the event, we always stop. We get the kids their water and stuff for the morning, and then we head to the Coliseum. So on the way, we got stopped by 2 events. One, a police incident. I'm sure what it was, about 8 Phoenix PDs had the road blocked. The other one was a train. They had the intersection blocked. They kept keeping the arms down so the intersection would not cycle. So we pulled into the stadium 12 minutes late. As a result, I told my girls, go down the door. That's where the weigh-ins. I thought nothing of it. After 11 years of coaching wrestling, it's never been a factor anyway. Well, they disqualified my girls. AIA, which is your association that oversees sports for high school it's in the state of Arizona, they disqualified them, and which turned out to be a debate. I spoke with them in depth, found out that they had let other people wrestle, similar circumstances. Sectionals is our pre-state tournament. One of the coaches told me that at their sectionals, 4 teams showed up over 30 minutes late, and they let them still weigh in and wrestle. So the inconsistency, and I want to thank Dr. Holmes, Nicole Young, the principal of Buena, and Mr. Deuce. They actually stepped up, and Mr. Deuce, talked to the AIA that morning, and they would not change it. They would not change it. But I want to thank, I know they can't hear it, but all my fellow coaches, to Bisbee, and they all came out of the woodwork on this one because it was so irregular, number one, irrational, and so my girls were disqualified from the tournament. And I even said, sanction me, take me out of the tournament then, but don't punish these 2 girls, and they wouldn't do it. So we have filed a formal with AIA, and we'll see where that goes. But my heart goes out to those 2 girls. They lost those experience, the memory of which they earned that. They earned that opportunity. So again, it's kind of a sad ending for my girls.
And also basketball.
Basketball. Let me give the basketball coach, Coach Tyler and his team, and very good season too. And they got all the way to the semifinals. Hosted the game last night with Centennial. End up losing it 77-66. I think the final score was. But what a shout out to the top 4 in the state. Very impressive. I mean, we had a good time. It was a good winter sports for Buena this year. And thank you, Mr. Deuce, for the opportunity, and the coaches that work with him. So now we do move into the spring for sports, track, and I think it's boys volleyball is doing this time right now. But again, it was a good time for the winter sports.
And speaking of weather and winter, and it's been a little bit cool outside.
A little bit.
Yes, just a little bit. We didn't get snow, I guess. I'm not really sure. I haven't been around.
We got frosted.
Oh, okay.
We get frosted.
Okay. Well, so we got frosted, and speaking of that, you wouldn't think that wildfires would be a problem. But I'll tell you what, with this wind and a fire that started in Cochise, or south of Cochise, off of Kaibab Way, that was really scary this week. Just seeing the pictures of that and 50-mile-an-hour winds and trying to make sure to keep people safe. You would think that there was not a whole lot left in that area because of the fires that have been surrounding it for the past several years. But they definitely have been. And so I wanted to give a huge shout out to all the fire departments that responded. because there was a whole lot of them. We had 13 deputies there. We had our sheriff's assist team en route, but they were fortunate enough to have that contained in a short amount of time. I'm sorry that someone lost a home and another residence out there. But the Red Cross Emergency Services was right on board from the get-go, making sure that everything was done. You know, we learned some lessons from that, like we always do, and I'm really glad that we didn't learn hard lessons from failures, but we'll take that into any forward momentum that we have going with this. But we just want to make sure that everybody understands, you know, be so careful, because even with the weather being cold, you can have fires like this that get out of control, and that could have turned out so much worse. And all the neighbors came together and helped each other, so really good way to look at that.
And kudos to our two deputies first on scene. They jumped right into the fire suppression. Now we're not firefighters. We don't pretend to be firefighters. I credit them for their efforts, but. And that's rural policing. And we get to these scenes, whether it be a medical call, fire call, and we jump into them. That's why we have our law enforcement deputies trained in the ABCs of life, first aid. And so in this case, they jumped right in there and they tried to help. They got the citizens out, and then they tried to help with the fire suppression. So yeah, it's very sad. They lost their property, but the bottom line is they're safe, and there's lessons learned. And it's so dry out there. Truly, it's dry, and that's the biggest thing. Then you put 30 mile per hour winds out there. It's a challenge.
They said they had 50-mile-an-hour gusts.
Yeah,
that's a whole bunch of stuff.
It is, and that goes fast, as we know, and that was part of the fight they had. They were out there all night on this one.
Well, let's talk about the jail next, and I know we got some money from the state.
Well, I went up Monday. Commander Kenny Bradshaw and I traveled up. We left like 4:30 in the morning on Monday to get up there. We had to testify at 8:30 at the Capitol in the House here in Arizona in regards to our jail. Representative Gail Griffin has sponsored a bill to help the Cochise County citizens, number one, but number two is us when it comes to building the jail. So we've gone all over the figures, but right now we testified they approved through appropriations $20 million to help offset as seed money for our jail. Now it goes to the floor. So thank you, Representative Gail Griffin, for doing that. I said a thank you to all the appropriation members this week, and we'll be back up there in a couple of weeks in regards to our jail. And I've also spoke with the governor's office, Governor Ducey, on this in regarding what can the governor do to assist us on the jail too. So again, we're trying really hard to see if we can get funds here to build a new jail. And
part of that is making sure that you have enough safe and secure environment for normal people that are booked in, and let me just say that a different way, for everybody that's booked in. But it's going to also offer a little bit of latitude for us to have additional people who are booked in who have border-related crimes. And we've been dealing with that recently. And so switching over to the border, we're just going to get a border update, and then we're going to go into something else that comes with that. So we have a significant problem in Cochise County with people who are coming into our county from outside, and they're loading up, and then they're just being completely irresponsible and idiots and driving back to get to their destination just to make a quick dollar. And so you have a public service announcement with County Attorney Brian McIntyre that's going to be coming out hot and heavy. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, let me go back just over the last few days. I mean, where have we been on border crimes? We had the shooting. I think we need to talk about that, where the agent and the illegal, where the agent shot the illegal and he died. And so we've been investigating that for all week. Mm-hmm. And I know there's some people saying, why aren't we giving out more information? Folks, I'm not going to come out on a press release and give an opinion until I know the facts. And our job is to secure the integrity of the investigation. And I know there was some other press releases on that by DHS, Washington, D.C. I'll just say that. And, Carol, I know you worked on that all week. Thank you for your efforts on that. But I can't control what they put out. But what we're going to put out to you is the facts. And so we got the interviews done late Wednesday afternoon with the agents involved, and we want to protect them too. We truly do. I mean, any law enforcement shooting, there's steps that we have to follow, and we want to protect those agents, and the facts will speak for themselves. I want to say protect them. We're trying to hide anything. We're protecting the integrity of investigation to include law enforcement until proven otherwise. And this will be reviewed by the county attorney's office in the coming weeks, and to include all the evidence collected at the scene and beyond. So, again, sad situation, but it's real. We had a pursuit. I mean, our pursuits are just off the charts, like you're talking about, Carol. We've been clearing intersections. 2 of my deputies were clearing an intersection at Buffalo Soldier Trail in 92 the other night. The smuggler at 120 miles an hour actually drove right at both agents, or both deputies, caused my deputies to take action from being killed. And so the vehicle headed up north, got up by the airport road. Service to PD tried to intervene on BST. It was just moving too fast, even to put spikes out that. It's just too dangerous. Got north of Sierra Vista, turned his headlights out at 120 miles an hour. Folks, that is a deadly action. There's just no other way to put it. And he ended up getting away. And that's heartbreaking to me. I'll just be honest with you. The pursuits, I was out the other night where Border Patrol vehicle was in Palominas at the Family Dollar. Border Patrol pulled in they saw the suspicious activity. It pulls out, it clips a car, which means it did a hit and run, hits on the highway. Border Patrol pursues it, goes down Palominas Road into Three Canyons. When I got to the scene, there was 3 crashed Border Patrol vehicles, 1 undercover, 1 and 2 marked units on somebody's property. And then the suspect vehicle was flipped over. I believe it was stolen. After I looked at the scene, I heard him come back with it was a stolen vehicle. United States citizen with 2 warrants out of Maricopa County, the Phoenix area, that we took into custody, and we charged him for that. But 45 minutes, here comes another one, up 92. So my point on all this is we're getting 1,000 cars a month coming to Cochise County to commit these criminal acts, and that is endangering our citizens. So Brian McIntyre, myself, the police chiefs, our Border Patrol agents, DPS, the governor's office will be there on Monday, by the way. But we're going to stand up a very defined operation to intervene on this. Number one, through the awareness, marketing of this, that zero tolerance. And so we're going to go after these. We're going to have dedicated resources for all these people to come into Cochise County that we identify, hopefully before they pick up the illegals, but we can get them. But if they do get them, the illegals, and they're going north, we'll have measures to stop that vehicle. We're going to do everything we can. It's not a perfect system. I've never seen perfection yet, but we're going to do everything we can to protect our citizens. Enough is enough.
It is, and so we're going to have a lot of educational material going out on this, so just be prepared, and it's not going to just be countywide. You know, the intent is to put that education out statewide, so the people who are recruiting from the metropolitan areas on social media or whatnot, you can't make a fast buck if you're going to cause this type of situation. You know, they had a bailout right in Sierra Vista on Charleston Road, and that people were running through neighborhoods. That's something that's really not acceptable at this point.
No, and the impact has been huge. And it's not just to Cochise County. Truly, talking to my partners, talking to Director Silva, he's a director of DPS in the state. I mean, every county has a negative impact, whether they want to accept it or not. I mean, and I'm telling you, this is not just a sheriff of Cochise County trying to address this. I mean, our police chiefs and all the folks here and the people I've talked to, especially in rural Cochise County, are really feeling the impact of this surge, this open border issue. And it's time to step up. It really is. But I'm just going to say this, and O'Grady, you probably, or I'll get sanctioned, you'll get yelled at, but is our 2 senators need to be involved in this. They need to be down here with us. I have not had either senator come meet with me on this. And not saying we had the opportunity. Senator Kelly and I have talked several times, but I see in the paper today that she's talking in Nogales to the winery people about the wine. Folks, I can say a lot on that, but the bottom line is we need to engage publicly. We need to engage for our oaths, and that is public safety in the state of Arizona, beyond Cochise County too. And so, talking about that, you're also going to be bringing those issues up at the Western State Sheriff's Conference in Reno next week. Right. It's actually we have a meeting on Monday where all the police chiefs, myself, and all the law enforcement, state, local, and federal, and the governor's office, we're meeting Monday to start putting an operational plan together. We're dedicating resources on my special ops unit to begin this immediately. This isn't going to be like we're going to work on this for a month and we'll get a plan, we'll share it all with you. No, we see the need for it because it happens every day. Talking to my corporal the other night, he's like, this is my 6th pursuit. This cycle work week, and it's just unacceptable. So we're going to initiate that after Monday's meeting. We'll come together and see if we can all work together and make a difference. Then I head out Tuesday to Pinal County on a jail issue. We're looking at Pinal County as a secondary to house our inmates. Got a meeting up there with the county administrator and Commander Bradshaw, and then I'm heading to Reno. I'm speaking to the Western Livestock Association at their conference on Tuesday afternoon or Wednesday afternoon in Reno, and then Sunday Western Sheriffs begins. Monday I have the chiefs from Border Patrol from throughout the Southwest meeting with sheriffs up in Reno, and then Thursday I'm speaking to sheriffs on another topic. So again, it's going to be a busy next week and a half. So yeah, a lot of traveling.
Well, let's talk about your stop of the week for the week.
And that nobody's going to be surprised when they hear this. Monday morning, we're heading to the Capitol, like I said, early. We're just north of Tucson, and just getting about 7 in the morning, and all of a sudden, 6:30 in the morning, whatever it was, and all of a sudden the car in front of us just veers to the left on I-10 and hits the guardrail. Comes back out, hits it again. I mean, we're talking 65, 70 miles an hour. Quite the impact. And so, and then the tire gets locked, so he slides into the fast lane, and partly in the fast lane of I-10. And at 7 o'clock in the morning, traffic's pretty heavy, and then people, I'll talk about safety in a minute. So I go up, I ask him, "Are you all right?" And yeah, I go, "Did you fall asleep?" "No, the wheel was wobbling." Sure it was. And because you can tell if a wheel wobbles just by the way the tire track on there, and yeah. So I went back and walked the scene. Yeah, he's either on his phone texting, which we know is illegal, or he wasn't paying attention, or he fell asleep. But either way, so I'm talking to him, getting him out of the vehicle, and this trucker goes by, and without moving over, and rocks threw up and hit me right in the face. And I was like, holy moly. So we actually stood on the barricade side while we were trying to clear that scene and investigate that scene. DPS showed up and took over the scene for us. But I tell you, my safety message is twofold today. One is, with all the pursuits in Cochise County, we've been putting that out here numerous times on this show. If you see red and blues, pull over. Seriously, pull over. And these maniacs, these criminals that are driving these illegals, they don't care about you. I'm telling you. They're going at my deputies. We got the crashes out there. They're ramming vehicles, on and on. Pull over and stop your vehicle. The other thing about it is, and also on this scenario, like I just told you with the accident, slow down and move to the right when reasonable. And when I say reasonable is when you can. But yeah, staying in the lane like that, man. In fact, Commander Bradshaw and I, we actually got off the road. We thought for sure our car was going to get hit. Even though we have lights on it, people just weren't moving over. They just don't. People are in such a hurry. It's like, slow down and be careful out there.
And also, when you see lights even in the distance, you should start to pull over. Don't wait till they get to you.
Valid point, Grady. Listen, when you see red and blues or emergencies or even the amber if it's construction or a service vehicle out there, bottom line is, yeah, hit the brakes, start slowing down. Don't continue at your high speed and, oh, that's what that was, and then try to hit it. You're too late at that point. You're truly too late.
Well, Sheriff Mark Daniels, we thank you for coming and talking to us.
Grady, Carol, take care. Have a safe week, everyone.
And Carol, who do we have coming in next?
We have Sierra Vista Fire, and they're going to talk all things fire.
First Watch on KWCD Country is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. First Watch is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. I'm Grady Butler, and with me is Carol Kappas, Public Information Officer with the Sheriff's Office, and our next guest.
Welcome back, Cochise County. We have Fire Marshal Foster here from Sierra Vista Fire Medical. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me.
So tell us a little bit about, let's just get right into the meat and potatoes. Sure. You guys have a brand new station coming.
We do. We're excited about it, too. So we received a grant from the Department of Defense for $1.4 million to build the station, which has really helped out the city. It's a Department of Defense grant, so we partner, as we do, lots of times with Fort Huachuca to get things done for both us and them. So, yeah, we're excited about it.
And when do you anticipate it being open?
So things are a little hard right now, as we all know, getting things done. But we're really pushing to get that done by the end of April. So we should have that staffed and ready to go in April.
So if anybody hasn't been on Buffalo Soldier Trail right there, they probably haven't seen the construction site. So it's centrally located, I guess, and gives you good ingress and egress and get to where you need to go quick.
Yeah, so we picked that area out because traditionally that is an area that's underserved in the city. Our response times were not what we expected them to be, especially like in the Winter Haven area and the area south in the city. And by putting that station there, it's really just going to decrease our response times to the area, increase our service level to the community, not only for the city, but Fort Huachuca as well, because people may or may not know that we service Fort Huachuca's EMS. So we have a couple ambulances on the post, and if they're on a call, the backup ambulance has to come from the station on Fry, and they're super busy too. So so this is just going to put it a lot closer to the fort as well, and so it kind of kills a couple of birds with one stone. It's going to be great.
And you guys have a lot of plans in place, a lot of educational opportunities, a lot of things you're doing in our communities. And one of the things includes Pulse Point. And
Yes.
if you can explain what that is
Sure.
and what you're doing with it, because it's been around for a while, then it kind of faded, and it's coming back.
Yeah, so Pulse Point, if you don't know, it's a free app that you can get. It's both platforms. So depending on what kind of phone you have, either Android or Mac, you can install it on there. It doesn't really use any kind of memory. You can turn it on and off. But what it is it's an app designed to provide CPR needed notifications to the community. So if you say you were at a public place, like let's say you were at Walmart, and somebody went into cardiac arrest, it would actually ping your phone if you choose and alert you that somebody needs CPR. And if you know how to do CPR, then you can just rush over there and get to the person and deliver whatever they needed at that point. So it just basically puts a fire station or a paramedic or an EMT, at multiple points in the community, because effectively that person that knows CPR is doing the same thing that we would do, right? So it's tremendously beneficial to the community. We've had it for a while, and recently through some of the upgrades that we've done at our dispatching center, CCOM, where we've done the ProQA, which is I'm sure you can explain
Dispatching
that.
software.
Yeah.
It's a platform.
Yeah,
So it's a software that kind of helps you out when you're doing responses like that.
Yeah, and they give you medical advice and things like that. And so when we made those changes, it affected that app a little bit because some of the codes changed in the background. So if you currently have the app and it hasn't really been working correctly, what I'd like you to do is take the app off your phone and then reinstall it. So uninstall it, reinstall it, and then add Sierra Vista Fire and Medical, and then you can also add Fry Fire District as well, because we respond to a lot of the same calls within the area, especially if you're down south. And that'll get it working again. And then, even if you're not necessarily interested in doing the CPR component, it's pretty handy to have, because I know that a lot of people have been sitting, may say, in traffic, and they see the fire trucks go by and our ambulances go by, and you always wonder, I wonder where they're going, right? Well, this app, you can actually click to get notifications to what we're doing. So you can actually click and see, and it has to be a public place. We're not going to tell, we're not going to put in word neighborhoods and different kind of, some things are filtered out, in other words. But it'll actually tell you, okay, there's an accident at 7th and Fry. So maybe you avoid that area, or just at least you kind of know what we're doing, and it's pretty handy that way as well. Plus, if there's, say we have another big event, like monument event, or even something to that effect, it'll let you know. It gives you notifications and stuff, so it's really handy.
So it's not area specific. So, for example, if you're at 7th and Fry, you would only get that notification if you were somewhere close to 7th and Fry, or could you be in Hereford and you would find out that there's an accident at 7th and Fry?
So 2 points on that. So if there's a CPR needed notification, it wouldn't really do us any good to have you get notified in Hereford for that, because you would never get there in time, right?
Right.
So for those kind of events where you might respond and help, it would be within a quarter-mile radius. But all the other stuff that you're going to be setting up, whether you want brush fire or structure fires, whatever it is, those will notify you anywhere. And we're not just the only community to have it; it's nationwide. So you could be in Tucson or Phoenix and apply there if you want to put it on there. So and you'll get them there too if you have them turned on, by the way. So I get them in Tucson sometimes, and I can look and see, oh, there's a fire, on 7th Street or whatever. So it's pretty handy.
And you do that, so anybody can sign up to get the notifications. But what about, do you have restrictions if they're going to be part of your first responder eyes and ears?
We have a new program that's going to be rolling out soon on details to follow. But basically, we're going to upgrade that. So we're going to do what's called a verified first responder. And so right now, you just have to verify that you know how to do CPR. And by the way, we offer CPR classes the third Saturday every month at Sierra Vista Fire Medical Station 3. And you can call the station 417-4400 for more details on that. But so you just have to be certified in CPR. And for that, the new program, the Verified First Responders that we're going to be rolling out soon, will be notifications to medical professionals, nurses, doctors, EMTs, paramedics, and they will get certified, and that's a little bit more rigorous certification. And what will happen is they will get notifications of events that are private as well. So if one of their neighbors goes into cardiac arrest or what have you, they can get they'll get the notification and respond within seconds, really, so which would be pretty beneficial.
Where can you get the app?
So you can just get it on your app store, So I have an iPhone, so I got it, on through the Apple app, and if you have an Android, just do the same thing. It's called PulsePoint Responder. Now there's two versions. One says PulsePoint AED, and the other one is PulsePoint Responder. And PulsePoint Responder is one that you really want to get. The PulsePoint AED is another app, and you can get that as well. And what that is, it shows locations of AEDs throughout the city. And what you can do is, if you see one, and it doesn't show up on your app because it will show you where every AED, the public AED is, you can take a picture of it, and click the link, and that'll actually send that to me, and I'll go out and verify that we can actually use that AED, and it's actually there, and I'll add it to the app. So we use the people within the community to add those kind of things. So because I can't just drive around all day and look for AEDs, right? But the public, if they see it, they can add it. So it's pretty interactive, actually.
All right. Well, before you go, you said something when you came in that made me go, really? I didn't know that. And that's smoke detectors need to be replaced every 10 years?
Yeah. So quite frequently we go on calls for smoke detectors that are beeping, and we've all had that smoke detector that you hear that keeps up at night, right? It's little beeps. So we'll get called for that. We do have a program that will change that for you for free. Again, if you're interested in that, you can call our station 417-4400 for the smoke detector program. But what happens is those detectors need to have the battery changed yearly. And that only works for 10 years because those are usually only good for a maximum of 10 years. So if your detector is older than that, they need to be replaced. And that's even apartments, homes, and what have you. So they just don't, they wear out like everything else.
Give us the phone number for your detection program one more time.
Yeah, it's the Citizens Fire Academy does it. And they, if you call 520-417-4400, that's Station 3, and you can schedule a free appointment. They'll come out and change all the batteries and look at it for you.
Well, Fire Marshal Foster, we thank you for coming and talking to us today.
All right, thank you.
And Carol, who do we have coming in next?
We have Sierra Vista Police Department Corporal Scott Borgstad.
First Watch on KWCD Country is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative, giving you an inside look into your sheriff's office. I'm Grady Butler, and with me is Carol Kappas, Public Information Officer with the Sheriff's Office, and our next guest, which is Jay Matchett. Good morning.
Good morning.
So you have an event coming up with the Sierra Vista Police Department on Tuesday. Tell us about that.
Yes, we have the Sierra Vista Community Connect event coming up on Tuesday, 11 to 3 at the Ethelberger Center here in Sierra Vista. We're bringing together just about a little over 20 agencies that help people with a variety of needs, everything from food security to housing. And we're going to have a free meal brought to you by Jersey Mike's, and giving away Better Bucks books. And also we have a necessity giveaway, so we're going to send care kits with people and things like that. So it should be a good event. We're pretty excited about it. Yeah.
Are you going to have this like you physically have to be there, or is this something that you would have like a way for people to Zoom in or Teams meeting in, or?
Right now, it's going to have to be a physical event. The agencies are going to be there. We hope to figure out a way to kind of break that down a little bit. I know transportation's an issue, so we want to make it more accessible over time. But right now, it's a physical event at the Ethelberger Center.
So you have over 30 agencies that are going to be there. And I think one of the most important things is sometimes people don't understand what types of services are available for them. So are all of these services that you're going to be mentioning, are they specific to Sierra Vista, or do they go through Cochise County?
Some of them are specific to Sierra Vista, but many of them are regional, Cochise County, or even southeastern Arizona. So and it's open to anyone that can really get there. So it's targeted at Sierra Vista, but we want to have a regional event where people can feel like they are connected with. There are so many agencies and so many organizations that do great work here, and we hope to just make that really known to the people that come in the community.
And did you bring a list of the vendors that might be there this Tuesday?
I did. This is a working list, and we have a couple more that are probably going to join us over the weekend. But right now, as it stands, we have the Good Neighbor Alliance, Seago Cares, which is a mortgage assistance program, La Frontera CBIS, mental health, Hope Incorporated and the Wellness Connection, Cochise County Department of Health, Forgesh House, Lori's Place, or the Cochise Family Advocacy Center, Hoops House, Salvation Army, Warrior Healing Center, Chiricahua Community Health, St. Vincent de Paul, Arizona at Work, Arizona Child Adult Survivor Initiative, and Cochise Serving Veterans and the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention.
So that is quite a good list of opportunities if people need any of those services to show up at this one location and take advantage of all of those.
Correct, yep.
And your organization is which one?
We're the Cochise Housing Connection. So we're a new organization that got started back in October with the mission to bring people, connect them with housing and the support services that they're going to need to be successful in housing. So
that is a brand new organization, and I read it, and I wasn't quite sure where it came from, but you say that you help people with housing, and just can you give a brief overview of, outside of this particular event, what you do for people who need help?
That's a great question. So we are in the process of opening up a drop-in center in Bisbee, but right now we're focused on this event, but we also, do advocacy. So when people call or contact us, we try to do our best to connect them with other referral agencies. Like I said, we're a new organization, so we are in the process of grant writing and fundraising and building up that capacity. So we thought this was a great event to help us, build those partnerships with the agencies in the area.
And one of the things you talked about was the Better Bucks program. And Officer Borgstadt was supposed to be here but had to run off and do official business. So what can you tell us about the Better Bucks program?
The Better Bucks program is a program that works by giving folks booklets that have coupons that are redeemable for different services or food and things like that. And there's also a transportation voucher in the back of them. So rather than giving cash and having all the possibilities of misuse for that, we have these Better Bucks booklets that allow us to still help, but also make sure it's going to the things that we'd want them to be using those resources for.
Okay, so the resource fair is coming up on this Tuesday, March 1st. Give us dates, times, and locations one more time.
All right, it's Tuesday, March 1st, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Ethelberger Center, which is 2950 East Tacoma Street here in Sierra Vista.
Well, Jay, we thank you for coming and talking to us today.
Well, thank you so much.
And Carol, how do they get a hold of us at the Sheriff's Office? So
reach out and touch us at Cochise County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Mark J. Daniels. That's going to be our Facebook page. And our webpage is cochise.az.gov/sheriff. And we'll have all kinds of links for you to get information you need.
First Watch on KWCD Country is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
You've been listening to First Watch with the Cochise County Sheriff's Office.
Hosted by Cochise County Public Information Officers Carol Kappas and Grady Butler.
Join us again next Friday morning, 7 to 8 a.m.
First Watch.
What you need to know from the Cochise County Sheriff's Office.
Only on 92.3 KWCD.